I'm Meg Scholl-Butler. I am G5 Senior Director of Multifamily Strategy.
My name is Tom Lissack. I'm the SVP of Sales at LCP 360. My organization, we basically capture, create, and deliver content.
I'm Danielle Johnson. I work for Bridge Property Management. I'm the VP over Marketing and Training. We're based in Salt Lake.
I think the biggest trend that we're going to see in multifamily in 2020 will be the rise of personalization. This is the concept that people are no longer looking to have the standard leasing approach or the standard conversation with an on-site team member. They want to have a conversation that's really dedicated to them and to their needs. I believe we're going to see this in terms of digital advertising shifting to really make sure that the content that is reaching your prospective renter is suitable in the sense that they have not seen it before or it really meets their expectations. Are you searching for an apartment home? Do you have dogs? Do you want a 2-bedroom? So the next time that person gets to your website, they're actually seeing content that is relevant to them in the sense of, hey, you want an apartment that's got 2 bedrooms and room for your dogs? And making sure that the content that they see is applicable to them. And this is becoming increasingly important as we see the rise of the Gen Z renter. So it's going to really all be about personalization and that unique touch that's relevant just to them.
Virtual reality, it's been around for a number of years. It was kind of gimmicky for at least for us for the last couple of years. But we've done a number of projects this year. I think in 2020, there's a lot more new developments coming up, especially multifamily, senior living, and a couple other industries. And I think these guys are going to utilize virtual reality in a different way. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. There's more hardware coming out that supports it. And I think it's just a fantastic way to, those leasing goals are very high for new developments. And I think this is going to, bridge that gap and get them there quicker.
I absolutely think the multi-attribution, it's hot now and it's going to get even hotter. And just the way we look at it, what graph, if we're looking at the first touch, last touch, I think it's really important for our prospect to have a good experience throughout the whole thing. And so I'm interested to see the best way that we can look at it. Another one for me is self-guided tours. I know getting to that area. I think for me personally, I'm actually buying a home right now and I needed a person the first time, but then I don't need them anymore. So I think like a mix of that is really important. I wanted questions asked, but now it's like, I just want to go on my own and take my family and friends and show them, and I don't need this agent here. So that's my personal side millennial view.
Embrace change, embrace data, and understand that how we've leased apartments for the last 15, 20 years has made us very effective in the industry. We can go out and we can really get this done for owners and operators in terms of maintaining occupancy. But with this generation, you need to be able to understand that they want a different level of service, and renting is an experience to them. So it's no longer the days of, here's your application, please fill it out, give us your deposit. It's, why should you give us this application? Why should you give us this deposit? And this is what you get as an amenity or a service and a benefit of living with us. So it's really starting to change that script where it's about what can we do to encourage you to have the best life possible living at this property with us, and this is why you should lease.
I think with the one-shot cameras, just embracing it. I think obviously there's always going to be a need for professional photography, but hey, like if I need a view, a shot of a view, or if I need a quick amenity shot, they shouldn't feel bad about just running over there with their one-shot camera and capturing it. And it definitely be pretty good quality.
Look at other industries. I think one that's really kind of cool is the self-driving car. It intrigues me, probably because I don't drive very far. Like my commute's 10 minutes, so like the concept of it. But I was talking to somebody today who their drive to the airport's like an hour, and he uses his Tesla, and he's like, no, I read. And that is just like really cool and insane to me at the same time. But that experience that he has and how he's able to use his time wiser, I don't know, it's kind of cool.
It's the continuation of the embrace of data. We're seeing a lot of operators, whether it's hospitality or it's your smart tech or it's social media, where they are really embracing their data to be able to provide their users or their hotel guests with a more personalized experience. And then above and beyond that, they're doing it in a way that's deeply meaningful, and it creates experiences that people want to continue to re-engage. And it's also doing it in a way that's a very condensed time bite, so that you're not out there pushing extended amounts of content that become less relevant. It's coming out and saying, hey, here's a small snippet of information that you need. Use it now while it's relevant, and then move on. And I think the industry is starting to shift their content and their approach to management to match that a little bit more closely.
What comes to mind is, this has been rumored for the last couple of years, but I definitely see it potentially happening in 2020. Google started a program called the Hotel Finder, where you can put in, for instance, like Phoenix hotels or Chicago hotels, and then in like a large map, you're basically going to see, all the hotels with pricing and availability. I definitely see something like that for multifamily, kind of like, wiping out the need for ILSs. I mean, that's a huge stretch, but I definitely see some sort of potential or possibility, or at least a derivative of that.
I look at online dating a lot. Because if you think about it, I look at online dating with leasing and with marketing, and you look at that quality. So I don't want to go on a ton of bad dates, just like I don't want to give our teams a ton of bad marketing. And I think that there's some things like Hinge, the newer one. I think, the way that I'm single, so I look at these things, but I think the way that you have more opportunities and it's not as time as like Bumble or Tinder, where you only have a little bit of time to respond, I think is really big. And then you're actually able to get to know someone a little bit better on Hinge, just like maybe getting to know our prospect a little bit better, or getting to know our property better in that type of space.